And welcome to Mock the Week. I'm Dara O'Brien. Joining me this week are Andy Parsons, Catherine Ryan and Matt Ford, Josh Widdicombe, Hugh Dennis and James Acaster. We start this week by noting that this is actually the 10th anniversary of Mock the Week, and I just want to say we've gone for 10 years at this stage. It's a very magical time in a panel show's life, and they want to thank the BBC for the excellent cake they sent us about the whole thing. And one of these, whose name I can never remember, it really is quite to... Literally, there's a defect. There's this is what came. This, and a note going, you saw what happened to Nevermind the Buzzcocks, it could happen to you.
I mean, that's a really upbeat start to the show, isn't it?
You know, it's just the blessing we get. We start with a round called Picture of the Week. I show the panel a topical image and ask them to tell me what's happening. So, what is going on here?
Is this Sepp Blatter meeting his hero, Neptune, god of the sea?
Is it just happier times for DLT?
Has someone in the audience just shouted, "Can anyone help me launder $10 million?"
Just saying, this little piggy went to prison.
Is Sepp Blatter saying, "To avoid controversy, the 2020 World Cup is awarded to Islamic State."
Two people auditioning for the Happy Days reboot.
Or, still as cool as ever, it's Entourage, the movie.
Have Channel 5 just unveiled their rivals to Ant and Dec?
And you know who exactly this is?
Sepp Blatter.
Yes.
And what he'll look like when he crosses the Swiss border.
The other bloke's name is Chuck Blazer.
Yeah.
Who is, weirdly, American. How American is that? He might as well be called McApplepie Stars and Stripes III, mightn't he?
Yes, this is the news that Sepp Blatter has said he will give up his post as FIFA president after 17 years at the helm. His resignation follows allegations of corruption and bribery surrounding various World Cup bids, thanks to an FBI investigation and testimony by former FIFA executive Chuck Blazer. Chuck Blazer obviously being the man with the enormously large hand sitting next to him. He made his money in modelling for those foam hands that Americans wear at sporting events.
But Chuck Blazer, in fact, was arrested by the FBI, wasn't he, in New York, on a mobility scooter.
He was chased by the FBI.
I would like to have seen that chase, you know. Quick, quick! He appears not to be stopping. We may have to break into a jog.
Chuck Blazer is an amazing bloke, isn't he? He's got a parrot. He's got a parrot on his shoulder.
Yes.
And the brilliant thing about the parrot is that he was married and the parrot went with his wife after the divorce. And then 6 months later, she gave him the parrot back. And he didn't know, but in the interim, she had taught the parrot to slag him off.
You can do that with real-life kids. See, this is an outrage. It's an absolute outrage. I think we forget sometimes who the real victims are. And it's people like me who see the word FIFA. I know that word means football. There's a secret history that you guys know all about. I have no idea what's going on. I thought they got arrested because all their migrant workers were dying all over the place. That's apparently not the problem.
No, that's fine. No one has raised... No, that's fine.
We went for the 2018 bid, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we've got loads of dodgy bankers, but who did we put up for the 2018 bid? David Beckham and Prince William. If our bid had been hosted by Nick Leeson, leading a delegate of Barclays and RBS, we'd have got the 2018 and 2022 World Cup.
Yeah.
You can't give it to Qatar, this place in the middle of the desert that has no prior connection with football, and not expect people to get suspicious. But like giving Ali Jones a Mobo.
But Sepp Blatter, what was Sepp Blatter's response to this now?
Well, Sepp Blatter, he's gone and resigned, hasn't he? But he's not going for a while.
No.
But you're thinking he's not going to get much of a leaving present, is he? When they pass round that envelope round the office, they're all just going to be taking money out.
I don't know if he's really going to leave. I mean, he said, what, December?
Yeah.
That's a smart move. you get to December and you're mentally, but everyone's full of Christmas spirit. And you get to pull the old, you want to fire an old man at Christmas, would you? It's on for a year.
Do you know, it's very difficult stepping down, though, isn't it? It's very difficult. And do you know what would have helped him step down a lot quicker? A SIP ladder.
Yeah.
You knew it was coming. They had to, didn't they?
I'm impressed you waited that long, to be honest. I really am.
Probably be pointed out that Chuck Blazer, who's got the mobility scooter with the parrot and an afro that goes all the way around his face, is the one that was undercover.
Do you think when he... Because they wired him up, like, whatever. That he had it just in his beard, and then he would wink to people and go, "Oh, say nothing," and lifted his beard, and then like a small man with a boom mic just singing in his beard. let me turn off the parrot's recording equipment.
The parrot, his wife will have taught the parrot to go, "He's wearing a wire, he's wearing a wire."
Was it not that he didn't need to wear a wire, it's just the parrot would repeat it all back when they left?
Also, they would be... surely, when the FBI were listening back to the tapes of Blazer, the first half hour was just his colleagues making fun of his appearance.
Sorry, squiggle, you wrote Game of Thrones. Squiggle, you're Santa Claus. Squiggle.
Good to see David Bellamy's in town.
Also in the news this week, who could tell me what's going on here?
Is that Barack Obama playing pretzel buckaroo?
Or is Barack shaking the hand of the very pretzel that choked George W. Bush?
It's like a German version of Come Dine With Me. Angela has broken all the plates and is serving the pretzels on a mug tray.
Is Angela Merkel saying to Barack Obama, "Well, Barack, you must prepare for the worst"? Thank you very much.
Lovely.
Welcome to 1970s comedy.
They also, the FBI x-rayed his sausages and his pretzel before he was allowed to eat them. Presumably, obviously, because a wayward pretzel led to the demise, almost of George Bush, and a wayward sausage almost led to the demise of Bill Clinton.
Almost there. Everyone looks happy, apart from Angela Merkel's husband, who looks like he's attempting to move the pretzels with his mind.
Because he liked the fact the guy didn't just have a brush on his hat, but he jazzed it up with 4 badges as well. It's quite a look.
That's amazing.
When you wear a hat like that, you don't expect there to be 5 other people at the table wearing that hat. Turn up and go, you got to be joking. I made this myself out of stuff I found in the garden. You can't possibly... Oh.
The danger of drinking at 11 in the morning at the G7 is that by the time you get to the final communique, it reads, I love you. This is the best G7 I've ever been to.
Dear Putin, miss you.
Do you reckon they had to do that thing because, like, the others hadn't turned up? Obama had to text David Cameron and said, "I'd get on it on the train, mate. Because we are going to be hammered by the time you get here. I'd get a couple of those small gin and tonics if I was you, because Angela is almost sideways already."
Hang on, is this the G7 where 5 of the others have yet to arrive?
Yeah, but Obama's done it.
Obama's just kind of sitting with Mr. and Mrs. Merkel going, "Where are you?" We said 11 o'clock. By the man with the squirrel hat. What are you? I'm on my own? What are you doing? Don't leave me here on my own?
He's having a nice time. No breakfast is ever made better by Stephen Harper or David Cameron showing up to it. It's not like he's waiting to start the party when Cameron gets there.
Oi, oi!
From the other side, they all turn and Cameron's like, "What is... Here it comes!"
Strutting down, knocking pretzels out of people's hands. His fucking hat!
I bet Cameron's got 7 nickname T-shirts in the back of his bag.
Misdemeanor.
Captain Austerity's here.
The Merchster, put it on, put it on, put it on.
You put it on, you put it on the He's like that. He does bring the party. So who was noticeably absent from the G7?
Vladimir Putin.
Yeah, and he would bring the party.
Yeah.
Check emails again. Maybe in junk folder there is invitation.
That's the saddest picture I've ever seen. I think out of shot he's looking at one of those brush hats that he bought for the event.
That's why they had beers. That's why they had beers early, so they could go, oh, mate, you missed the best one ever. He was wasted by 3 o'clock. I got off with Merkel.
I like to think that, because Putin's not going to take it very well, but I like to think that he had his own G1 summit.
He said only an insane man in a dream would think that Russia would attack NATO. And you wondered, actually, whether he had, in fact, had that dream himself. And he was giving the rest of the world a bit of a heads-up on his current mental state.
Yeah, because he's insane. That'd be like, you can't say that about yourself. That'd be like saying, only a total legend to come back from the bar with 8 Jaeger bombs.
Oh, David Cameron, you've done it again. Wait, there's only 6 here. It's a long walk. Boom! At the end of that round, the points go to Josh, you and James. Now we play a round called I Can't Believe It's Not Blatter. This game involves Matt and James, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is a stand-up challenge. I launch the wheel of news, and whoever chooses to stop one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. OK, here we go. The first subject is interviews. Who wants to come in that?
OK.
Matt.
Go for that. It's fascinating watching different politicians and how they deal with interviews. Ed Miliband, when he gets asked a question he doesn't like, will just have this amazing technique where he'll just ask himself a new question and answer that instead. And it really works. He got asked before the election by Nick Robinson. Mr Miliband, you've said you'll set a new mansion tax if you become Prime Minister, but you won't yet tell us at what rate you would set it. And Miliband just went, look, Nick, if you're asking me, have I got a plan for the housing market, then the answer's yes. It's amazing. Farage is one of the best ones at it, because no matter what you ask him, he'll get a political answer in somewhere. You could say, Nigel, what you had for breakfast, mate? And he'd go, tea, toast and the Telegraph, great British breakfast. He always manages to get his messages across. Boris Johnson is fascinating because he just loves avoiding questions, and he uses a twin-track approach of flattery and Latin. And this genuinely works. If he was here now, you could say, Boris, come on, just admit it. You want to be Prime Minister. And he'd go, oh, no, let me just say, great to be here amongst such great learned people on this crucible of culture. Reminds me very much of a phrase my father used to use, divitas, divitum, rectum.
Well done, Matt. Very good. OK, so James is left. Let's see what he's been left with. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is Britain.
I wish I was Mexican. Love everything about... I love Mexican food. My favourite place to eat is a Mexican restaurant called Oaxaca. All you need to know about Oaxaca, everyone steals their spoons. So much so that every January, Oaxaca have a spoon amnesty on. You bring back one of the stolen spoons, and then they reward you with 3 tacos. Genius. Not only do they get their spoons back, they also get to watch while the thieves eat tacos, which I imagine have been interfered with beyond belief. Love Mexican food, love Mexican music. Mariachi music, best music in the world. Top 3 mariachi songs. Number 1. Number 2. Number 3, nothing, 'cause there are no other mariachi songs. Ever been to a mariachi nightclub? It's full of people just going up to the DJ like, hey man, have you got yeah, I'll play it next. How about open your ears, I'm playing it right now. To request that song during the next one. Growing up in school, I was the only kid in my whole school who liked mariachi music. It was a nightmare. I couldn't walk down the corridor without some knob knocking my sombrero off my head, stepping on the back of my poncho on the way in a maths class. Once, a kid wrote Chimichanga Bumboy across my forehead while I was having my post-lunch siesta. He also drew a moustache on my face, but to be fair, that played into my hands.
Bravo, very good. It's close, but for sticking to the topic, James Acaster gets the points. Well done to both of you. Come on back. Our next round is called If This Is the Answer, What is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Matt, which category would you like?
Politics, please.
OK, excellent. Politics it is. The answer is 5. But what is the question?
The amount of times a minute Ed Miliband remembers that stone.
Is it, if I've got a tenner and want to book a boy band for my wedding, who can I afford?
Everybody get up.
Is it what does Nigel Farage regard as an acceptable level of immigration?
Is it how many snazzy ties did I try on before the show?
No.
What is the maximum number of euros you can get out of a Greek cash point at the moment?
Is it, if I'm watching a documentary on Adolf Hitler's favourite shark, which channel am I watching?
What would be a cracking score for a UK entry in Eurovision?
Is it how many of the famous 5 are now dead?
Surely not.
I didn't want to break it to you like this.
Julian is just sitting quietly in a rocking chair, remembering the adventures and going...
Laughing because he killed them all.
Is it how many basic bitches does it take to escort Kate Moss off an EasyJet flight?
Is that a thing? Is that like a...
I'm a pretty basic bitch.
I think you're an ornate bitch, right? I think...
You think I'm a ratchet-ass hoe?
Well... I didn't want to make it too obvious, so I've got a little soft spot for you.
Is it how many presenters from the 1970s are relaxed when the phone rings now?
Is it how many names are currently written on Taylor Swift's blank space?
Is it as a...
I know it's a song. I know Taylor Swift.
You know
Taylor
Taylor
Swift?
Swift?
Hate.
Is this what we do? If ever we mention any band and you're going to do an impression?
No, that's not what's going to happen here.
Is it Kate Bush?
So one quick impression.
The Village People.
NWA.
I think it is how many candidates are there in the Labour leadership?
Absolutely right. Thank you very, very much, Hugh. Yes, correct. Yes. The question I was looking for is how many candidates have put themselves forward for the leadership of the Labour Party? Liz Kendall, Andy Burnham, Yvette Cooper, Mary Creagh and Jeremy Corbyn have all announced their candidacies. Kendall, Burnham and Cooper have already won the support of enough MPs to secure their place in the ballot. The other two have yet to. If you'd like to be reminded of their faces, why don't we have a look at them now? There's this person, and then there's this guy, and what's her face? And then your one, and that guy. So that's your lineup right there.
The man from Del Monte.
It's the Labour leadership election, and you hope for the sake of Labour that they actually do win this election. I mean, it'd be very embarrassing for them if they don't manage to win this one, won't it? You know,
Could go either way.
5 of them standing, and then just at the last moment, the Conservatives pick them to it. So, fingers crossed.
Do you not think, though, as we're discussing the Labour leadership, this is the point in the programme to say, viewers in Scotland have your own programme?
The favourite is Andy Burnham.
Possibly, yeah.
He lost the last time to Ed Miliband.
Yes.
This is a man who is less popular than Ed Miliband. They might as well just disband the party now.
I enjoyed watching Miliband, though. A lot of people said he didn't have a personality. He had all sorts of physical tics. I loved that thing that he'd do where, after each sentence, he would look as if though he'd heard someone's phone go off in the audience. He'd go, look, there's a cost of living crisis in this country. permanently startled.
I thought you'd been okay until that big stone appeared. Until
Oh,
that
the
giant
stone.
monolith appeared.
But he's got a lovely gravel driveway now, hasn't he?
They claim that it hasn't. I'd give them 40 quid for it because I just want a rockery with the words "control on immigration" built into the rockery. That'd be just a bizarre.
It's because his advisors said that his policies need to be available on tablet.
Oh, come on! It was just but the crushing literalism of these policies are written in stone, so I know we'll literally write them in stone. Like, I mean, no. That's like going, oh, there are lines in the sand I would not cross. Bring me the sand! Yeah. Oh, I'm trapped on the other side of the line in sand. I can't get out. I can't get over the line in the sand.
You realise that Andy Burnham's watching this going, that's a hell of an idea.
That's fantastic. Sand everywhere.
Did you see that Nigel Farage story? So it was the day before the election, someone had stopped him in Ramsgate and called him a racist, sexist, homophobic ex-banker. And he'd replied that he'd been a commodities broker.
Nigel Farage was described by his campaign spokesman after the election, said he was snarling, thin-skinned, aggressive during the election campaign, but people didn't know that he was actually on temazepam, was he, during the election campaign, Nigel Farage?
Because of his back?
Yeah, he had a bad back, couldn't sleep at all. But he should have let more people know, shouldn't he? You know, could have just come up with a new campaign slogan, UKIP, I can't.
Douglas Carswell, who's their only MP left now, said, I think Nigel needs 2 weeks off, because he didn't dare say, I think he needs to resign, but... Because they're worried, actually, that he's becoming too right-wing. But what is 2 weeks on holiday going to achieve? He's not going to come back through customs with a sombrero on going, you know what? Some of them are all right.
Ed Miliband went on holiday to Ibiza.
You cane it big time.
He's lost election, not failed his A-levels.
He should have taken the last of it, yeah.
Photos coming back of him straw-pedoing a reef on Facebook.
Yeah, the last thing you need in a foam party would just be his face popping out of it.
You got to say about him not having character. People like Farage, because he had the pint and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, if Miliband had done shots...
Nobody took shots. Nobody grabbed shots as their thing. No, you're
he
absolutely
could
right.
always, like, during anything, if he's, like, doing a debate or a press conference, every time someone mentions NHS, he's got to do a shot.
Ding, 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 ding. Oh, well, a bell goes off.
That's how he could campaign against the SNP, because they're anti-nukes. It'd be very simple. You could go, look, the SNP want to ban the bomb, but there's one bomb they'll never ban. The Jaeger bomb.
At the end of that round. Points go to Matt, Catherine and Andy. Now we come to scenes we'd like to see. So if everyone can make their way over to the performance area, I'll read out this week's topics and then we'll see what our panelists can come up with. OK, here we go. The first subject is commercials that never made it to air.
Fungal foot problem.
Have you been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault? Of course you have, because that is the definition of an accident.
FIFA summer sofa sale. Total office clear out. Bribe now, pay later.
Andrex, because who wouldn't want to wipe their ass with a puppy?
Carlsberg don't do your girlfriend, but I have.
What's that? Yeah, mate, I got some bad news about your dad.
Why pay more for ratchet, trifling-ass pilots when you can get to where you're going on EasyJet? A basic bitch will get you there.
We call it a Happy Meal. The cow we killed wasn't too chuffed, though.
Waitrose, 2 for the price of 3.
We had debts all over the place, but Wonga took all those debts and put them in one simple loan. They also took a house.
Are your vet's bills getting on top of you? Then why not try Dognatas?
Want to save money on biscuits? Easy. Give blood.
From Laboratoire Garnier, Paris. Because if we said it was from Unit 5 of a Luton industrial estate, you wouldn't buy it, would you?
Struggling to sleep? Why not try 10 cans of Stella?
Did you mistake your girlfriend for a burglar on Valentine's Day? Then you need to go to Specsavers.
I can't breathe! I can't breathe!
The Lynx effect.
That one's accent is a bit more racist than that one's accent. There you go. Just compared the meerkats.
OK, the next topic is lines you wouldn't hear in a sci-fi movie.
Hi, is that NHS Direct? Yeah, a bit of a temperature and I've got an alien coming out of my stomach. 2 paracetamol, OK.
OK, Mr. Zulu. Set course for the 4th quadrant to the Orion Nebula. I think there's a Nando's there.
We're sorry to announce that there is a replacement beam-down service this weekend between the ship and the planet Splooge.
You've got to imagine this in a Scottish accent. This is our Independence Day! There you go.
They abducted us and took us to their spacecraft, and then they explored our bodies with strange probes. I'll be honest, it was the best stag night I'd ever been on.
This man can now reach the full potential of his brain. Joey, wake up. You can tie your shoes. Reem.
What the people don't know, Captain Kirk, is that when I do that V thing, that means in Vulcan, I've had your mum.
I think this time tunnel is broken. We have gone 1,000 years into the future and Bruce Forsyth is still working.
If you take the red pill, you will enter the Matrix. If you take the blue pill, you will have a boner for 7 hours.
This is it. The machines are taking over. Hashtag apocalypse.
Yeah, I've had a look at it, mate. The problem is your nano boosters are shot and your warp drive is fucked.
Our planet is dying. We seek a new home. Which of you is Phil and which of you is Kirsty?
The dinosaurs are killing everyone. Why do we keep reopening this park? Who keeps giving us public liability insurance?
So the plan is you get in the time machine, go back in time and cock-block Hitler's dad.
Phone home. Phone in Joan. No, phone home.
OK, at the end of that, the points go to Matt, Catherine and Andy. And that's the end of the show. This week's winners are James Acaster, Hugh Dennis and Josh Whittaker. Commiserations to Andy Parsons, Catherine Ryan and Matt Ford. Thanks for watching. I'm Darragh Breen. Good night.